Hey, what's up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the JCA Sports Podcast. I don't know what I just pushed right now on my damn board, but that was
Hey,
just oddly weird. But welcome to the
it,
show.
it kind
Another
of
great
fits you.
episode of the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and all. Well, not Instagram, but YouTube, Twitter. Our Facebook page is JCA Sports Podcast, or John Conavi Facebook page, the Star Six Media Facebook page, and also the Star Six Media YouTube page. Guys, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Tag, MySpace. All the social media platforms are available for you guys that we have going on. And make sure you guys hit the little bell to get notified when our shows are live. Eric Avila here with my boy, my other Capricorn brother, one day apart from birthdays. Johnny
One day.
Blasphemy, Johnny Parlay, John DePly. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, brother? How you doing? How you doing?
Uh, uh, I'm a little on edge. I'm not gonna lie.
A little
The
on
Cubs
edge.
right now are just trailing right now 5-2. Joey Votto just hit another home run, so it's kind of like yeah. You know what I
You
mean?
know, Votto's kind of been drinking out the fountain of youth here and there. He kind of sprinkled on. I shouldn't say sprinkled. Like he's been sprinkling it on. He got like he must have like a jug of water. But he doesn't drink it every week. Apparently, it's more like every 2 weeks he'll drink it. Hit a few dingers. But when he first came back, though, he was on fire, and you can say that arguably was sparked the Reds hot streak for this summer.
Yeah,
But
for
he
sure. And
has
then
cooled off.
especially now them being in first in the NL Central, there's a
Yeah,
reason why.
The Reds are definitely an intriguing team in your division, as are the Cubs. That we see at the beginning of the season, it was looking like the Brewers and Cardinals division to fight for, and you got these pesky, annoying little brothers, nephews, cousins, Reds and the Cubbies that are knocking on the door trying to take the division.
And it was just it's one of those situations that we thought that we knew that the Cardinals. I mean, with the lineup that they have, obviously we have Goldschmidt,
Arenado.
Arenado, and then they got Wilson Contreras, Paul DeYoung, all these other players. You thought that this was the Cardinals division to run with because
Yeah.
again, you had a very young Pirates team, a very young Reds team,
Mm-hmm.
a Cubs team that was just up in the air. Nobody knew where they're going to go, or if
Yep.
they're going to be good, they were going to be bad. And obviously, the Brewers of the last 5-6 seasons have been there, done that, and had made some noise. So you're absolutely right on that part. And yeah, right now it's not looking so great for my boys. It's not looking great at all. So
Yeah.
let's
I
see if they
mean,
can turn it
it's
around, especially if they're that offensive explosion that they had yesterday, scoring 20 runs. It's just insane, 7 home runs. But we're going to talk about more about the Cubs later and the moves that they made at the trade deadline that finished
yep.
about what 27
Almost.
hours ago or something like
Yeah.
that. And they But the most important one that we want to talk about, right? It's
Mm.
not just my team, John. It's your team, and we're going to talk about the trades of the White Sox. If you guys want to join us, the link is also right there in the comment section. If you guys want to join us via text or join us through the link and show your
Yes,
faces and
sir.
see if you guys want to talk about some ball with us today. John, how your personal perspective first before we go into the questions. The trades,
Re-
how do you feel about the trades that the White Sox made yesterday?
Real quick, I think the most important trade was the trade that did not happen, and that was of my boy, our ace, who's currently losing 7-0 in the third right now, Dylan Cease. Because, man, I put in the group chat, if Dylan Cease gets traded, I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to go to the store, get some whiskey. I'm going to play my boy Kane Brown Whiskey Sour, just thinking about the good old days with Cy Young contending Dylan Cease, our ace. And then he comes out today and he gets rocked. What is it? 5 runs in a second, I believe I just seen.
Yeah,
Um,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah. They already have a new pitcher in the third inning, but I think that's the most important trade that didn't happen. The Orioles were on it, trying to get him. I heard Sox got a little too greedy, asking for their the number one prospect in their organization, which I mean, I can't blame the Sox for giving that high of a price tag, but I can't blame the Orioles for not doing it, especially because Cease hasn't been Cease of last year. I think if Cease was in that Cy Young contention conversation right now, this summer he would have got traded yesterday. And in a way, I'm pretty thankful because I mean, Cease is still young. Just because he's having an off year doesn't mean we should just unload him too. I mean, look at the guys we unloaded. Giolito, we weren't gonna resign him. Lance Lynn, he's been up and down. Go ahead, he's older in age. Let him go contend. At least you keep Cease. He's still the ace in your pitching staff. He can still turn around next year. And I mean, when you're talking about a rebuild or a retool, since supposedly the Sox want to contend next year, you need pitching. You can't just show up with a brand new set of starters in your rotation, expecting to make some noise that year. So at least you still have that ace. If not, we'll probably be ending up with another. When we unloaded Chris Sale, we'll be looking like that, and that was a rebuild in itself all over. Because the very next summer, our ace Quintana we traded. So I'm glad we have an ace going into next year. I'm a little biased because I love Cease. I've been on the Cease bandwagon since before everybody hopped on last year, but to me that's the most important deal, is the deal not made. All the other guys I mentioned, I told you guys last week they were going, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah, you did. You did mention that last week that these guys were on the verge of leading the team, and rightfully so. You're right. They made some moves. There was a lot of conversation about two players in Dylan Cease and Luis Robert too, as well, going on at the trade deadline. And you're absolutely right about Dylan Cease. Another guy who is going to have his own 2 cents about the White Sox trade is this guy that's joining us right now, CP.
Hey.
CP. What's up, buddy?
What's good, y'all? What's good?
All right, CP. How do you feel about the trades that the White Sox did or did not make in this instance yesterday?
First of all, John, you talking about our ace. Our ace is getting spanked right now.
Hey man, it happens, bro. It happens. He got a new catcher to work with, He got new signs from his coach, He got to adjust this year. Just as far as ERA and record for Cease this year, just go ahead and toss it. It's August 1st. We got Bears to look forward to now.
I'm gonna hold out some hope for him, but I want to man dealing him too. But it was about all the trades we expected. I was a little shocked that Tim Anderson stuck around, but so we sent what? We sent Lance Lynn away. We sent Lopez away. And who else?
Giolito went with Lopez.
Giolito, I knew that was coming. They was talking.
He got
about
rocked today too.
Your boy Joe Kelly.
Oh, yeah, and Joe Kelly looked good again when he gets to the Dodgers.
Yeah, bro. First appearance at the pen, he was pumping it, man.
He was ready to get away from Chicago, huh? I see. We just poisonous like that, huh?
Yeah.
But it was about all the trades I expected us to make, sending people off. I wish Jake Burger the best in Miami. I mean, we'll see how it works out for him. I'm a little bit okay with some of the prospects we got. I feel like we could have got a little better, but I mean, this is about what I expect. You got the Cubs going in one direction, you got the White Sox going in the other direction. So I don't know if this is good enough to call this a retool, because if we are at this same point next year, like, bro, it's time to look at a full rebuild. Fuck a retool. I don't know what a retool is right now. I get if the Cubs would say something like that. We can't say something like that 22 games under 500, bro. Like,
that's facts.
That is so facts right there.
I mean, besides Oakland and Kansas City, we're what, the third worst team in the AL, bro. Like, this is ridiculous.
Pathetic.
I hate to see us down like this. I got to the point where I don't even bother watching Sox games no more. They won me money though. I've been betting against them nonstop. They stay winning me money. Hey, that's the move. I bet on them tonight. So
hey, I mean, I might have hit last night taking Rangers to cover the 1.5. Might have placed that same bet today. Parlay with the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's the only thing they good for right now. They definitely not good for W's. Somebody tried to sell me a ticket for like $8, bro.
Damn.
I'm like, no, I don't even want that, bro. That could go towards something else. Damn 6-pack or something.
Hey, we still gonna try to go to the crosstown at Wrigley though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just enough. No, it's and you guys are right. I my question to you guys, right, as we go into the comments, my boy Tony, what's up, man? Hopefully you're doing well, my guy. He says, Sox fans, just admit the team that they put together was so good and did not do nothing, not even a playoff appearance that is said. Well, a playoff appearance, a playoff series win. is what they haven't gotten. I think they only won a span of 2 games and like 2 playoffs appearance or something like that, back to back years. So my question to you guys, and you guys were just briefly talking about it too as well. If it's not a retool or not a rebuild, then the question is going to be asked: did the White Sox just went halfway on their trades? Like they were just like, okay, we're going to trade, but we're really not going to trade, simply because, again, like you guys mentioned, the CP mentioned, Tim Anderson is still on the team. He was shocked that he's still on the team, right? The amount of prospects or ready-made players that they could have gotten for both Robert and Dylan Cease. And John, you alluded to earlier that the White Sox wanted their top prospect from the Orioles for Dylan Cease, which I get it. It makes sense in a way, and I understand why they do it, because I think he's still in control not only for this season, obviously, but next season, and I think the season after that, if I stand corrected.
Right.
Right.
So for them to get their top prospect with a team that's, I guess you could say, ready to contend to a playoffs, or ready to contend for possibly a World Series, or making a playoff push or playoff run, getting Dylan Cease to the Orioles, it kind of makes sense at the moment for a guy who could be in control for the next 2.5 seasons. So my question to you guys is right there the same thing. Did the White Sox go halfway in their trades, it really doing it retool or rebuild, TP?
When you say halfway, you mean
Like, it's really not a retool, but it's also really not a rebuild. Like that's what I mean. Like
that's
they
what
like
I'm saying.
half-assed this trade deadline with the players that they gave up, and what they could have had done for a
That's
actual
what it feels like.
rebuild.
It feels like they're fighting the rebuild, if that makes sense. Like it's it's there. We just he don't want to let the fans down, so he don't want to admit it right now. Now, part of me does understand why they want to keep fighting, because like we said, the AL Central is by far the worst in baseball. So like you can get into the playoffs with a 500 record. You just have to play some type of consistent baseball. So I'm guessing that the White Sox are thinking maybe we plug a piece here, we plug a piece here, maybe we can fight for a division title. But the problem with that is that we're never aggressive when winter comes. Like we are never aggressive. We never chase anybody. We sent a few players away for prospects, but like by the way this team looks right now, what makes you think this team is going to be any different next year? Like what's going to change if we're not going to be aggressive in the winter meetings? What's going to be different? Honestly,
John, what is going to be different for next off season if they really didn't fully commit to this rebuild or retool or whatever you want to call it?
You know what? It's gonna be absolutely nothing as different. So you guys, we're discussing right now. I'm looking at this list of free agents for next year, and it's really nobody. There's no, besides Otani, who we know the Sox really have a chance at that. So we're not even gonna mention him.
he go to the Cubs before us.
We're not even gonna mention him. Really, realistically, you know what this feels like? This feels like when when you're younger and your parents want you to get rid of your old clothes that you don't wear no more, and then your mom's like, oh, you don't wear that shirt, get rid of that. You're like, no, but I like that shirt still. I'm gonna wear it again. I'm gonna keep that one with the hoodie. Like, oh no, you only half-ass get rid of your clothes.
But
you don't fully
stupid in the clothes already.
Right, exactly. That's literally what the Sox did, because realistically, what we need this offseason is what we needed every single offseason for the last 3-4 years. A second baseman, outfielders, starting pitching, relief pitching. You know what I mean? Like,
last time we had a reliable second baseman.
Nicky Two Strikes, baby.
Nicky Two Strikes.
Nicky Two Strikes. That's
Eric,
it.
give him back, Eric.
Give him back. And it's
Yeah,
not.
I wanted Jake Berger. We needed a third baseman, but I guess Jeremy Candelario could
But
do
you know
it
what I'm
better.
saying? Like, we can afford to get rid of Jake Berger because we're committed to Yohan. And realistically, if Yohan's healthy, you can argue he's easily better than Jake offensively and defensively when healthy. For the 2 weeks that we get him healthy in April, he's healthy. Luis Robert, obviously that's your franchise player right now. Vaughn, I mean, you got to commit to him. TAS Short, I was one of the people that didn't want to see TA go, so I'm happy he's still here. We got Benintendi, but once again, we need a legit right fielder, everyday starting second baseman, more arms, and then luckily we got a catcher in one of the trades, so hopefully we'll see him possibly starting next year. But it's the same shit we need every single offseason, and again, we need the owner to sell the team. We need a new GM. We need another manager. It's the same shit, man.
This is going on borderline, 15, 20 years of the same nonsense every single day, huh?
Same nonsense.
And I think they changed the definition of insanity in Webster's dictionary, bro. I think the definition for insanity is called Chicago White Sox because it's basically the same thing over and over and over and over again. So we go into the comments. I already read that one. Tony goes on to say they need to get rid of the GM to change the culture. Kenny Williams has to go, and I think that's one of the key essential things right here too. Because again, if they half-ass this rebuild, to me they half-ass this trade deadline because yes, they got rid of players that they weren't going to re-sign. Right, Giolito's one of them. Obviously, Joe Kelly having a down year. Lance Lynn, it is what it is. They kept the players that they have years and money invested in Yohan, in Cease, in Luis Robert. But the thing is, it's like, why would these same two people in Rick Hahn, Kenny Williams do another rebuild? Because it feels like they've been doing a rebuild since 05, right? It feels like they've been retooling since 05, right? And nothing has really changed the narrative, the perspective of these two teams simply because of what the ownership really is and how loyal he is to the people that runs his organization. And I feel like it's about that time too as well. And I am glad in a way. And I'm saying this without taking off my Cubs goggles, taking off the hatred for the White Sox. But I look at this as a missed opportunity for somebody else to rebuild this team. And if we're gonna have the same two people that have been doing this for the last 10 plus years, nothing's gonna change. 05 is never gonna happen again. You're not gonna strike lightning in the bottle once again with the same two people running the organization. Running it back with the same team that, and quite frankly, has been underachieving since giving out those contracts, since the COVID playoffs, since the year after playoffs, only winning one playoff game, or two playoff games and two playoff seasons, should I say? And yet nothing. There's no narrative. It's the same environment of the players. Joe Kelly just left and all these, but it's the same people that have been causing the same problems, injuries. Yohan with injuries, Eloy Jimenez with injuries, so on and so forth. The list goes on, and nothing has really changed. And the White Sox haven't really proven anything to make that significant change in the organization. Josh says he's to have a shout out from Hooters. So there you go.
I go some Hooters this weekend.
Yeah, Hooters does sound pretty good. Damn, I wish I want some. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I really wrong in thinking that way? Like actually putting in a baseball perspective, John, like that the way how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, that it's actually like a blessing and a curse that they really didn't blow it up with the same two guys, but also a missed opportunity to blow this up with two different guys.
No, you're absolutely right. And truthfully, I don't just because we witnessed this firsthand with the Bulls, and we do compare it a lot, but there's truth to it because the same ownership. They're just gonna keep swapping out coaches. Keep swapping out coaches. Keep signing, C-list, B-list talent. We've got lucky that we got a couple good trades here and there. For example, Cease and Eloy for Quintana was phenomenal. But then we got the trades like Kimbrough for Nicky Two Strikes. Way back when we gave up. What did we give up for James Shields?
Fernando Tatis Jr. and I forgot who else.
Peavy way out of his prime. Although Jake Peavy was a dog, but even then, what sucks is that after he left here, I believe he won a World Series with the Red Sox. He fucking bought a boat and was on the championship parade with the brand new boat he just bought, celebrating his World Series win. But I mean, it goes to coaching. I mean, and recently, I can see Yohan, TA. Who else am I getting? I think Luis will stay, but I can see Yohan and TA leaving this team before we get another GM. Rick Hahn will stay way past they are. And then with the new coach, they'll give you Luis Robert. And that's it. They're just going to say, here's your superstar, build around him.
But we need so much more. That's the mess up.
Oh, we do. We do, but that's what's going to happen. They're going to fire the coach. Rick Hahn is safe, and then we're already going to get rid of our core that opportunities already missed.
That's my question. Why is he safe?
Because of his buddy Jerry.
That's exactly why. That's why Gar and Peck stayed for so long with the Bulls
buddy,
organization, man. Like they legit stuck around for so long and still lived through the 90s and did all this and did all that because Gar and Pax, or mainly more Gar, was the guy that was actually running it. When Paxson came in after he retired, it's the same thing. They got lucky with Derrick Rose and rode off that wave too as well.
Jimmy Butler too.
Jimmy, Taj, Joakim Noah, like that year from 07 to what was it? 07 to 2010, I think it was the year that we drafted Derrick Rose. Like they just banked on getting those type of players and then banked on going into the playoffs. And then after that, Taj Gibson came, Jimmy Butler came along. Tom Thibodeau was also a blessing in disguise too as well, and giving the Bulls that type of run as well. But the thing about that though, if they go down that route, at least somewhat, right? Somewhat, Gar and Pax had some type of success. Number one team in the East, Eastern Conference Finals, MVP out of Derrick Rose.
Coaching.
And right, coaching, right? At least that ended up happening for the Chicago Bulls. After 05, what has the White Sox even done / even created as an MVP caliber type of player since 05? And I'm still waiting for you guys to answer because it's nothing. They really haven't done anything.
Abreu won MVP.
In a shortened season, John. As much crap as we're gonna give that shortened COVID season, right? The MVP for Jose Abreu. I mean, the Tim Anderson batting title is probably a little bit more valid than Jose Abreu's MVP, right?
You could never give us that one too. You got a batting
title but look how long it took for you guys to create something since 05.
Abreu won Rookie of the Year. We still had Alexei Ramirez was competing for Rookie of the Year when they got him in 08. We went to the playoffs that year. We lost because the Rays were the shit that year. It's just I hear what you're saying. It's a little different comparing it to basketball because of the coaching styles. Less players starting. You know what I mean? But you can literally ride Jimmy Butler's hot hand to win you the game, or D Rose's hot hand to win you the game. Whereas here, you got to have 9 guys compete, sometimes more. You include the pitchers being subbed in and subbed out, and it's hard. I feel like it's harder to strike lightning in a bottle in baseball and NFL than it is basketball. Like basketball, you can suck and still get a good ass player.
But I get what Eric is actually saying, because since 2005, it seems like at least every team in baseball has at least was probably except Seattle. But every team in baseball has at least tried to put together a complete baseball team and make like a deep playoff run. Like every team in baseball has literally done it.
Well, see, the Sox have done it, but they just don't do it right. With the GM does it wrong. We've seen this several times where they go all in on the trade deadline, or they sell at the trade deadline and then go all in the offseason. Like we have summers and winters where they go and sign mediocre talent, or here's one good guy here. After 05, I mentioned the 08 was when we went to the playoffs. We lost that year, right? And then fast forward a couple years later was when we went and signed Melky Cabrera, who was a Brett Lowry for second base. Like that winter, we spent some money, but again, it wasn't no guys. Like they keep the fans, a little excited enough where they're making moves versus not doing shit at all. But then once All-Star break comes and we're sitting in third place, fucking 5-6 games at the wild card, and then that's even worse. If we're within like 6 games of the wild card, they'll go and make a trade or two to be like, oh yeah, this is gonna help us. And then when it doesn't work out, they'll ride it for a year again. It's all over again, like we did the Chris Sale blow up, Quintana, blow up the team, and then here we go again, where we lost it to the playoffs the first year we had Ricky, and then we win it. We got a new manager. Then we made the move for Craig Kimbrell because supposedly we were all in that next year, and now here we are. The Sox do this where it's like blow up one year, let's go make some moves, blow it up again, make some moves, and let's just switch up the coaching. Maybe that's gonna do the thing, and it's not going to change until we get a new owner. Because I mean, I really don't. If he hasn't fired Rick Hahn by now, then what's it going to take?
I don't know, but I just wish we was like aggressive, like how them motherfuckers on the north side is. Like Cubs, they were terrible last year. They started out good, finished bad. But look what they did in the winter.
Too.
They went out and chased Swanson. You go out and sign Bellinger. They're aggressive. They go out and sign Stroman. They're aggressive. They're trying. They want to put some product out there for those fans up north to come and look at. And then it's like when they think about us, Southsiders, they just like, well, they'll either show up at the game or they don't. Like, we don't care. I feel like that's how they be sometimes looking at it.
Because Jerry's bread and butter is always going to be the Bulls. Always.
And that's why he needs to sell. And that's why he got lucky with D Rose, bro. I'm surprised he didn't take Michael Beasley or something. Like,
imagine that, right?
If D Rose wasn't from Chicago, who knows? He probably would have drafted somebody else. We were screaming at Chicago to draft D Rose.
Hey man, I don't even think that's a hot take. I think that's honestly that's facts too as well. If he wasn't from Simeon, from Inglewood, I don't think Derrick Rose would even be a Chicago Bull if it wasn't for that Chicago tie. Real quick in the comments, Tony goes to the 05 season. They got hot at the right time, and everybody had career seasons that year. Duff man, Mario Strada, can't wait to see you soon, buddy. He said, honestly, the front office needs to change because they never seem to know what they're doing. Spring training, they say, yes, this is our team. We're set, playoff bound. And then All-Star break, oops, we meant rebuild. They don't have a structure or a legitimate plan or a great backup plan for unfortunate injuries. And of course, ownership is a problem too because either Jerry is dumb and cheap, or he has a bunch of yes men working for him, and that is never going to solve anything. And the coach.
Hey, that is a perfect comment, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Everything he just said was facts. Especially that structure part. The structure is what got me. He right. He probably do got a bunch of yes men up in there telling him, "Oh, we'll be fine with this." Oh, you need somebody to come on, bro. That got guts. That's like when he brought AK in and he went and chased, DeMar DeRozan, Vooch, and all them. I mean, yeah, it hasn't really worked out for us, but it gave us something, Like he came in and he got aggressive. Like what we gonna do with this, bro?
I mean, it's just in a way, right? Us Cubs fans, we can feel the sorrow if we're Bulls fans, right? And we understand where it's coming from, right? And I can actually see it by putting on those Bulls blinders what the White Sox fans are going through simply because of we see it with our Chicago Bulls too, right? And you're right. And Jose Fake Contreras over here says Jerry is too loyal to fault. Look at how it took him to fire Gar and Pax. And he says, and even then, he just gave Pax a different position. You know what he did, didn't he? Like he did get demoted when they hired AK and Mark Eversley, didn't he?
How many years we had Gar Pax?
15? 60? I know it was 10 plus years, that's for sure. Because I think guard forming came when he when he drafted Kirk Heinrich, Ben Gordon, and all those other guys too in the Baby Bulls.
Damn, so that's damn near like 20 years.
Almost damn near, right? It was like 50, yeah, like almost 15 years because remember it's already been like 2 seasons. So yeah, give or take 15, 20 years. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time with that, and that's how loyal Jerry can be for these guys. And again, what he says is remember when that a couple weeks ago, a month and a half ago, how long ago it was when they did that expo, he says the one thing that you want to give these fans is to sell them hope. Is that if they're in second place, third place, with a chance to reach, they're going to come in, they're going to buy in, they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. And next thing you know, we don't make it. We're like, oh, okay, cool. And that's how he makes his money going around that route too as well. Obviously, us as Bulls fans, it's easy to fill and be loud with United Center fits, 18, 19,000 seats compared to the 40,000 seats in the U.S. Cellular. But at least you get the impact more with the Bulls because of the prestige of the Michael Jordan era, of the banners that are hanging up there. Plus, you got the the Chicago Blackhawks under the same roof too as well. So you just see all these jersey retirements, all these trophies that these two teams won under the Chicago Stadium and under the United Center. And as if you go to the Southside Stadium, it's kind of like, what else do you offer other than that view coming out of, getting the skyline from the South Side? Like what else can they present? The stadium is nice. The stadium has this. The stadium has that. The stadium has good food apparently. Better than Wrigley. So and by far the beer and all this, right? It's a nice stadium. And then if you go out this perfect spot, you can see the skyline and take pictures with the Chicago skyline and the Chicago whatever it is. But there's no good product, right? But us as Bulls fans, I think we're more vocal because it's like you get the Cubs and the Sox fans together, and then you hear it more louder than just one particular group in the South Side for the Sox fans. I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know, but you're right. This is borderline, I guess, embarrassing for you guys simply because it's what you guys been hanging on and what you guys been doing since '05. And I reference '05 because that's when you guys won the World Series. But it's to the point where like you guys haven't even been good enough to even compete when the AL East or the AL Central wasn't even all that great to a point, to a degree, or even you guys to even compete to be part of that great AL division. And it's just, I don't know what else to say, guys. Like we can say we want to rebuild. We can say we want Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams out the door, but at the end of the day, it's still Jerry. We can say fire Jerry all we want. Is he going to sell the team? Think about it. Is he really going to sell the team?
Hell no, he's not.
He's not going to sell the team. He's never going to sell the team. And if he sells the team, do you honestly think he's going to sell them both together, the Bulls and the White Sox, or he's going to sell them individually?
Individually, probably.
Exactly. And if he does sell them together, and if he sells them both for like $8 billion, $6 or $7 billion of it goes to the Chicago Bulls, and the other $1 billion comes from the White Sox.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 18 years since we won the World Series, those 18 years, we have 5 winning seasons. Only 5.
Terrible. Sad.
That hurts a lot.
Yeah. I believe it.
He had some type of consistency going where, okay, we make the playoffs one year, we might miss it the next, and then make it. Like, there's just nothing there. Like, we probably might not make the playoffs again in probably for like 6-7 years now. We had
it's basically once every 4 years.
Yeah. We had our little run. We had the wild card round. Then we had a little divisional series with the Astros, and now, boom, it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a long while. Because I honestly do feel, and I don't mean to say this jokingly, right? I'm not trying to be, this guy, but honestly, it just feels like the White Sox have been rebuilding since '05. To be honest with you guys, and it's like nothing has gone forward, or nothing really has been progressive. Tony said that he has to go. Messi is playing, and he just presented Jordi Alba for the Inter Miami game. Anyway, and Tony, let me know if you get tickets for the America Chicago Fire game on Friday. I'll really appreciate it, bro, if you do got something like that. There's some fake people out here in this world.
I was gonna say, I think another Tony we know is going to the game here.
Supposedly, right?
Supposedly,
yeah, there goes.
Yeah, he can hang out this Friday. He's going.
CP, you're more than welcome to replace Jose on Friday to hang out with us, bro.
Oh, what's going on?
We don't know.
We'll give you the details after the show. Sox fans, let us know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about the trades? Most of the trades that the Cubs did, the White Sox did get. I mean, they got some pretty good high-end prospects. I mean, I think they got the Angels' top prospects, one of their top prospects. Obviously, the Marlins, they got one of their top 5 prospects. Who else? The Dodgers, I think they got top 10 prospects or top 15 prospects too as well with the trades that they have made. So at least if there's some positives coming out of these trades is that the White Sox have traded that the White Sox who they got from players that they got, the prospects that they got from, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. They actually got potential, and then some are ready-made. I think the catcher from the Angels is ready-made. I think he should be coming up soon, within this end of the season or for sure next season. Who else? I think one of the relievers or one of the pitchers that they got should be coming up next season too as well. So they got players that are ready-made, ready to come up. But again, it builds the question: is it good enough for that next step for the Chicago White Sox in their, I guess you can say, retool, right, guys?
I mean, you got to start somewhere, bro. I mean, our farm was already looking pretty damper, to say the least, before these trades. I guess we trying to put something there. I do appreciate the Marlins because Marlins got a history of producing some good pitching, man. So
Right.
I'm hoping we can work with that and like catch lightning in a bottle. But I mean, I think I like Corey Lee. I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I do like Corey Lee. I'm hoping. What's the Marlins pitcher we got?
Shit. I'm about to look it up. Can't think of the name.
I just had it right now. Hold on, I got you guys.
Yeah, I just had his name. I just lost it. Well, yeah, I looked
My
at.
man. Well, Eric thinks of the name. I think if the Sox open the checkbook and get some decent players this offseason, then it's cool that we got a catcher ready for next year, a left-handed pitcher ready to plug in that rotation.
Yeah,
I believe we got a reliever ready.
Jake Eder is the one that they got from the Marlins.
Yeah.
Better.
Yaz isn't really doing it no more.
Oh, he's gone. They're probably gonna bench him all this September. He's gone. They were trying to give him away. No one wanted him.
Literally, 12 pack of cookies, you could have them.
Well, what kind of cookies? Are we talking about Chips Ahoy or are we talking about Oreos?
I don't know about Oreos. That's tough. You probably have
my guy. CCP, I know I like you for a reason, bro. You my guy.
For some butter. They could have for some butter cookies, probably.
Some sugar cookies.
I mean, look, it's going to be a long off season for the Chicago White Sox, right? It's already been a long season as it is, right? Now we're going to have to wait for the winter meetings for these guys to, I guess, to say to see what they're going to bring in or who they're going to bring in. Like Jonathan said, they're out of the Ohtani sweepstakes, so it's who's next in line, and the names aren't that impressive for them to do this quote unquote retool for these guys to compete next year, which to me, I find it baffling. I don't know about you guys.
Let's be real. We was never part of those sweepstakes. Even if Ohtani was going to find a new team next winter, we weren't going to be part of those teams.
I agree.
Because we don't have that it factor. We don't have that. The Cubs probably would have chased them, but come on now, bro. The South Side ain't doing that. Especially Ohtani is going to get probably the biggest contract in MLB history. You think it's coming from the White Sox?
Hell no. I mean, Benintendi just barely broke your guys' record book.
Benintendi $75 million. That just killed us. We holding on to our wallet for dear life.
Hey, real quick before we move on to the Chicago Cubs. Duffman goes, they need to fix the structure because 5 or 6 playoff appearances since 05. Not acceptable, not consistent. Why weren't we still going on a trend after 05 win? Look at the Cubs, new owners and front office come, start rebuilding correctly. Then every season from 13 to 22 made it to the playoffs and a World Series win. I might be off with the season or two, but the consistency is there and the White Sox don't have it, and it's very unacceptable. And it's true. It really is. And in a big market that we always say that Chicago is, third largest market in America, so on and so forth. Chicago, and my boy Greeny said in plenty of times, Chicago shouldn't be a city that needs to rebuild. They need to be consistent. They need to be competitive. They need to be in every market with every free agent in every sport that this city holds. And it's true, and I agree 100%. But there is a time or two when you need to rebuild, and not to be the guy that's rooting for the Cubs right now or anything, but the Cubs have been doing it right since Theo came in back in 13, and it paid off in the long run with the Cubs winning back in 16. Even early and competing in 15, which was a surprise to everybody. Keeping with the Chicago Cubs, they also made some noise too. Not loud noise, but enough noise, I guess, to give this team that was on a win streak that swept the Sox last week, won 3 out of 4 against the Cardinals last week too as well before the trade deadline. They came out and got Jeremy Candelario from the Nationals. They gave away DJ Hertz and shortstop Kevin Made, which is kind of the biggest one, I think, out of all that. The Cubs needed a third baseman. They got a third baseman, and Candelario, who
I like Candelario.
Who, by the way, I did know this. The Cubs had Candelario before trading him to the Detroit Tigers. I've been knowing that, just in case if you guys want to question my knowledge. John over here. But other than that, they made like really small trade, not small trade. Jose Cuevas, they got him too from Kansas City. And so, but my question to you guys though is, and this is a good: did the Cubs do enough to make a playoff push to improve this team? Let's go with CP. CP, do you think the Cubs did enough to make a playoff push with the trades that they made?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Them being the Cubs and what they have, I felt like they could have done a bit more. Like I said, I like the team that they have. I'm glad they didn't sell any of the players. Candelario, that's a great pickup. He was playing great for the Nationals. He was hot. But okay, you fixed up a spot at third base. I just felt like with Stroman, because he been struggling lately.
Since London, he's been struggling.
Yes, I don't. Yeah, I felt like they probably could have used like another starting pitcher or two, but I mean, we'll see if they'll just keep trying to ride this hot streak and see if they can keep at it. Like I said, you like the offense that they have. Like it's just all about building some consistency. But like they're right in it. Like who knows how long Cincinnati will be able to hold on? Who knows how long their starting pitcher is going to hold up? Who knows how long Milwaukee's offense is going to hold up? Because those two teams really didn't make any moves. So I guess that's the one saving grace here is that like the Cubs got marginally better, and I feel like they're 4 games back behind Cincinnati. They should be able to catch them honestly. Like they're right there for a division title. They didn't have to go super aggressive where they make these crazy trades and try to get somebody like Verlander or Scherzer or something. They're making the minor moves, and I get it. Like you still got Justin Steele. Hopefully Stroman can get it together. Tyone, he's looked better lately. So if they can just keep building on their recent success, maybe this small trade deadline it should be good enough to get them to a division title.
Johnny Blasphemy, what do you have to say? Do you have something nice to say about the Cubs and the moves that they made?
Yeah, I think CP hit it on the head as far as the rest of the division didn't make no big splash. They didn't make no big moves, and that helps the Cubs. A week ago, we were talking about, should they be buyers or sellers? I told you, hey, if my team was 6 games out of, first place, absolutely, you better buy. And here we are a week later, they're 4 games out. Still playing the Reds. Big, crucial division games coming up in these last 2 months. Y'all know these next 2 months of baseball is crucial for every team. But when you have the Cubs 4 games out, the Brewers 1 game out, and the Reds in there, I think you can pretty much count the Cardinals out, seeing how they traded away some key players for their team. Wouldn't be surprised if Nolan gets shipped out this off season. The Pirates are the Pirates. They have a little spark in the season, then they fall off. I think they're sitting 10 games out right now. But I mean, the Cubs didn't make no big moves to where, I don't see them as like making a playoff run. I think they can stay relevant in the sweepstakes for the division title. But if the Brewers or the Reds catch fire again, then I think the Cubs are in trouble because, like you said, Stroman hasn't been the same. He just went to the IL.
He did. 15-day.
I mean, I don't know. I would have liked them to go after some other names that we've seen teams like the Phillies went after the more important. I think I would like to see the Cubs go after starting pitching. Specifically, Phillies when they got Detroit pitcher Michael Loren.
Loren.
Yeah. Loren. The Brewers got a pitcher as well. He's decent. He's not all that. Andrew
Chaffin. Yeah, he was a Cub last year, 2 years ago.
Yep, it was 2 years ago. I mean, yeah, they're probably out of the sweepstakes or never were even in the sweepstakes for Verlander and Scherzer, especially if you want to keep the checkbook open for Ohtani this offseason. But I definitely would have liked to see them have been more aggressive. But I think they did enough to, let's say, keep players like Cody Bellinger interested in re-signing long-term and possibly getting Ohtani looking over here. What up?
He's their best player right now.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, and I mean, think about it. They gave him a chance On a cheap deal, I would have loved the Sox to have got him. Another player I wish that the Cubs wouldn't have pulled the trigger if the Sox did not, which we see just about every year. Every year we see this, But he's a cheap deal, and it's paid off. It's paid off tremendously. So I think they keep themselves relevant enough, but it's their division to lose.
6-5, baby. 6-5. We came back. Young Gomes with a double.
The Reds are super hot. So that's a scary team to look out for, I think, is the Reds.
Yeah. Reds pitching scares me. I just don't think like they have enough consistent arms to get them all the way to the playoffs.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only reason they're in the race right now is because of that hot, I think it was like a 12, 13 game winning streak.
Yep.
Back in May or June, something. Yeah.
That propelled them in the lead, but everybody in baseball goes on winning streaks. It's about how you play after that streak.
Except the Sox.
Like the Cubs are right now. Yeah. Okay, John.
We'll go on a 4-game win streak and be like, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys even win two games in a row, and you're like, hell yeah.
But
we won a series. Let's go.
I see something there, though, because, like, as far as the National League, it's Atlanta. As far as I see it, it's Atlanta, and then it's everybody else.
Facts right there. Hell yeah. You're saying it's nothing but facts right now, CP. Keep going. You're cooking.
I'm not saying, like Cubs, in a playoff series, anything can happen, bro. And I feel like they could beat any one of these other teams in the National League, probably except Atlanta. But, hey, your Dodgers, John, hey.
All day, baby.
That pitching has looked real suspect.
All day. They just got my boy Lance Lynn. He was cooking last night.
Okay.
Carving them up for 7 Ks. They still got my cousin, Julio Urias. They got the GOAT. They got the GOAT, Clayton Kershaw. Come on now.
Look, the Cubs can
Tony
play.
Toxico pitching tonight, Mr. Gosselin.
They can play one teams in the National League, whether it be a wild card or a divisional series, bro. The Cubs can definitely run with any of these teams.
Bro, that's cap.
What?
That's cap, bro.
Dodgers, Giants, Brewers, Phillies, Marlins.
Brewers, okay, but my boy, the Dodgers and the Brewers are in two totally different.
Two different spectrums right there. I agree with that one.
That's 2 different leagues, my guy.
Dodgers
in the playoffs, that's 2 different leagues.
Dodgers
They're not competing with the Phillies. They're not competing with the Braves.
Right, the Braves, but come on, the Dodgers, they do this all the time. Their regular season record means nothing when it comes to LA. It's been like this for years.
Nah, the Cubs don't got the smoke no more.
Man. I mean, at this point, right, and I can say this with confidence, right? 4 games out, they just took the lead 6-5. Hopefully, it'll be down to 3. But the Cubs are so far and are still the only team in the NL Central with a positive run difference, right? Man, by a large margin. And it's these games like they had yesterday, scoring 20 runs. I know they scored another 15 or 20 earlier in the season, 10. Like, they've been winning by double digits. That's why they got the plus 64, 65 runs average. And they have decent pitch. Well, they have had, I guess you could say, you could kind of put a hyphen in between them. They've had good pitching throughout this whole entire season, right? The bullpen was the only thing that was killing them. I do agree they should have gotten another starter into this rotation during the trade. I agree with that 100%. Stroman hasn't been the same since London. Kyle Hendricks has been going back into form. Obviously, Jameson Taillon looks like he rejuvenated himself throughout the year.
You got a decent
steal, like you said earlier. And what CP said is true. In the NL division, that after the Atlanta Braves, it's pretty much wide open. Do you have confidence in Philly? Well, I mean, they've been there, done that. They've gotten to the World Series,
right?
But it's not the same feeling as you had last year when they were just clicking on all cylinders. Obviously, the Cincinnati Reds playing with house money. They made no trades because they're literally playing with house money.
Yeah,
I think that's the perfect team you could say that playing with house money because nobody put the Reds in this situation.
Nobody expected them to do this.
No, nobody, absolutely not. The Milwaukee Brewers have been there, done that, but they don't. It's not the same Milwaukee Brewers that ran away or they gave / gave fits to the Cardinals for the NL Central for the last 4 or 5 seasons. And then you go out west. Obviously, like you just said, CP, it's the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers run away with the NL West every single year, right? The Dodgers, you either see them in the DS or the CS, right? But then they've never gotten really over that hump to get there. Somehow, some way in the playoffs, they somewhat falter other than the COVID year when they won the World Series, right? You're right. Outside of Atlanta, it's pretty much open, and it feels open. As long as you avoid Atlanta, it feels as open as possible where you could win a playoff series and you might end up in the CS or you might just get eliminated in that first round.
And that's the thing, Justin. Like when you have a pitcher like Justin Steele performing the way he was, if Marcus Stroman can get back to what he was, with your ERA under 2, they can win you a few playoff games on the road and get you. Hey, teams get hot. You see it all the time. Philly got hot last year, John. Nobody expected Philly to reach the World Series last year.
They ain't going back.
It can happen.
Yeah, it could definitely happen. Let's go into the comments. I kind of neglected the comments for a minute. What you got? You got something to say, John? What you got?
I was gonna say it's not gonna happen. I'm looking at these wild card teams. They're not gonna beat the Giants. They're not gonna beat the D-backs.
What?
They're not gonna beat Philly.
Giants, the Diamondbacks?
Bro, they're on fire in the West, just like you have the Reds and the Cubs on fire over here in the Central.
The Giants have been mediocre all year.
Oh, bro, they got the same record as the Cubs, damn near.
I think the Giants have like 2 or 3 games up on them or something.
Bro.
These rookies will only get them so far, John.
Okay, and this mediocre Cubs roster will only get them so far in the playoffs. They have no pitching.
Whoa.
They have no bullpen.
No pitching?
They have no
bullpen. The bullpen.
I think bullpen is their issue. When Azalai is your closer, who's, by the way, is doing a great job filling in that role, it's just getting him there, the setup and the relief to get to Azalai to close out the games. I think that's where the Cubs struggle. And there's been multiple games so far this season where the Cubs had the lead and then they faltered because of the bullpen not picking up the pace. Real quick in the comments, let's go with Duffman. Duffman says they need to fix the structure because 5 or 6. Oh, I think I already read this one. My bad. The next one he says the Sox are never going to fix until the owner or the yes men are out. Look at Michael Jordan with Charlotte. They never won or succeed because Jordan has yes men working for him too, and never wins. That's 100% true. Caesar says F the Sox.
Okay.
Duffman goes, I think the Cubs should have done a little bit more. I agree. I give them a C+, C plus, B minus with the deadline trades. I can see them for sure fighting for the wild card slot and maybe playoff spot. They need to recheck themselves and get right. And if they do, possibly wild card and division title. And with these last games, this is consistency. So with the trend, there can't be Sox bias, but real recognizes real. And he actually said the song, Go Cubs Go. He also says Ohtani's not leaving Los Angeles. He'll be a Dodger next season. That's Duffman's going on right there.
Ohtani's not going anywhere. He's already made it known.
Yeah, I think Angels will probably be the team that he'll probably stay with, to be honest.
Comfortable.
He'll never see the playoffs then if he stays.
Duffman goes, us Sox fans, like John Candy from Rookie of the Year, Sox extend their winning streak to the longest it's been all season. 2. Laughing my ass off. Tony Fake says, Cubs, baby, running it up on the Reds. And he says, since all the All-Star break, the Cubs have been hot. How can you not think they can ball with anyone? And I think that's also been the trend with, with David Ross, too, as a manager. Remember last year how they had a very slow start, had a very bad first season, and they ended up being the 3rd or 4th best team in baseball after the All-Star break. So where there's credit where credit is due, where real recognizes real, like Duffman says, it has been in David Ross's back pocket that since he's been manager, he can know how to maintain and guide a team to the second half of the season. So you give him a little bit of something, and then Jose says, "Ain't nothing fake but that Bears hat, boy."
Damn.
Okay. Anyway, so that's what I want to see what you guys think about the Cubs Sox trades. If you guys want to join us, you can join us on the comments, guys. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms on the Star 6 Media platform: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you guys hit the little bell under the John Conavi Facebook page and also the Star 6 Media Facebook page just to get notified when our shows are Live. All right, guys, this is going to be the last time we're going to do it. Make sure you guys get this right. Make sure you write it down, put it on a piece of paper. We're going to come back at this towards the middle or the end of the season just to see where our predictions are at. Training camp has started. So far, the defense had an upper hand on the offense. That's been the latest reports coming out of the Bears camp that the defense has been performing well, has had the upper hand on the offense. But in all reality, when you have a defensive minded coach, even in the offseason, it's bound to happen year in and year out. First of all, is that a concern for you guys, or is that a positive for you guys that the defense has been performing better than the offense, CP?
I'm a little bit of both because I was really worried about the defense going into this year. But I mean, I like the Tremaine. Is it Edmonds or Edwards?
I think it's Tremaine Edmonds.
Edmonds. Like I like those additions, but I was mostly worried about our secondary because we got killed in the passing game last year. So to see, and I thought Justin Fields and DJ Moore. I mean, because there were some reports I was reading where those two was just lighting the defense up at one point. So
100%. Yep.
that's good to hear. I just hope Justin Fields isn't that turnover machine he kind of was last year. Um, but hey, that's a bright spot because going into this year with all the additions they made, I expected the Bears offense to be their bright spot this year rather than their defense. So, hey, if the defense can step it up, hey, that's a good thing too. But I'm mostly expecting like our bright spots to come from the offense, to be honest.
John, what about you, bro? What about you? How do you feel? Is it a good thing or a bad thing that the defense is so far better than the offense?
I think it's 100% a good thing because every time we've talked about like the Bears hype for Justin Fields and this offseason, what they're gonna do, everybody always says, "But what about the defense? The defense sucks." And like we argue that like they're like mid-tier level. Some of us argue. Some of us just think that the defense is dog shit. But I think it's a very good sign to see
Say
that.
dog shit.
I mean, hey, I've seen some tweets. I've seen some
Damn.
comments on
I've
TikTok,
seen some tweets too.
on the
Straight off
gram.
Twitter.
Hey, they out there. They out there. Duck, man, I'm sorry. Duck going in the comments and I can't. But
He said he came when Jose said about that Bears hat. He said that
You
TJ
telling the
Maxx Bears
TJ
hat,
Maxx?
laughing my ass
Oh
off.
no.
Jose goes on. That's Ross, bro. Swaparama. Yeah, no, I lids. I only get my hats from
What they
lids.
on with you, Eric?
I don't know, man. I mean, people don't like coming at me, and then they just want to go for the quickest thing. And apparently, my hat is fake. I mean, I don't know. I have my god sister works at Lids, so everything's all legit here.
bro, you work at
Damn.
Dick's. You get official gear too right away.
Yeah, but see, my discount at Dick's is not as good as the one at Lids. That's why I go get my hats. So yeah, you are fake. You fake as hell, and we have the text message to prove. Ain't that right, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see
your
what I
boy
mean?
was on
Exactly.
SCP. Your boy was
We don't
on
want to put him
SCP.
on. We don't want to put him on blast. Again, it's not really a concern.
It's a good sign.
It's not really a good thing nor a bad thing that the defense is performing better than the offense. But as long as we keep hearing stories that Justin Fields has done this, maybe the defense has done that. As long as it's competitive, and it's been good so far for the last couple of days. With the pads being on, obviously there's been again defense has been a step ahead of the offense, but the offense have had some moments. So if there's anything that we could get take from the last 2 days that the Bears have been wearing pads is the fact that it's kind of been a competitive camp, I guess you can say. Defense has really stepped up. Offense is slowly getting there. Obviously, hell, Justin Fields is enjoying his new toy and DJ Moore. Darnell Mooney should be coming back soon, healthy, and obviously whatever he gets along from last year from Cole Kmet. It should be all great. The Chase Claypool situation, we'll see how that goes. See if he could turn it up soon or not, because that second round pick doesn't look too high and mighty for him at all. But again, it's still too early in the off season into training camp to do so. But let's get going. What we're going to talk about right now, guys, and we're talking about the NFL schedule here that's remaining. If you guys can see it, I can read it for you guys. I got a better picture on my end, but we're gonna do our final prediction for our beloved Chicago Bears 2023 season. And it starts off with a doozy. It starts off with a good one. And I think we all could come in agreement with this one that the first game here in Chicago at 325, prime time, America's game of the week, how they like to promote on Fox. The Bears Packers at 325 here at Soldier Field. Johnny P, you got the Bears losing this one, right?
What?
Boy, absolutely not, man. Hell no. We're gonna slaughter the Packers. Matter of fact, book it. We're gonna sweep the Packers this season.
Woo.
Damn.
Okay.
The disrespect.
Nah, real talk. Don't say it's my Bears biasness, but
Bears bias.
Jordan Love is about to be one of the worst quarterbacks of the season over the whole NFL. Yes, sir. It's gonna be straight hot dog water, boy.
Hot dog water.
The disrespect.
Yep. Y'all gonna see.
All right, so since it's not John CP, you got the Bears beat. You got the Packers beating the Bears week 1.
Not week 1, but maybe in that second matchup.
The last game of the season.
Can't
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess we're all unanimous here. I think I should write this one down. Anybody got a pen and paper? I got mine all the way over there. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
I got a pen right here.
All right, sweet. So mark us all down as a win, right? You guys could join us too as well on the comments. How do you guys have Packers week 1 against the Bears? If you have them win or a loss, you guys can join us too as well. Duffman Goes says front has C for Chicago and the back one says also. So you guys are still going in my head. All right, cool. All right, I guess that's what I meant. All right.
I'm marking y'all down now. I made the chart, so all 3 of us got wins for week 1.
Yep. All right, week 2. It doesn't look that complicated, but it is complicated to the fact that they're going down to Florida in the middle of September, where it's still hot and humid under those conditions down in Tampa against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks, and that offense that still has Mike Evans, still has Chris Godwin, still has a decent running game, a formidable offensive line as well. But Baker Mayfield is your quarterback down in Tampa. Guys, is this a tricky game for the Chicago Bears, which is a noon game at Tampa, middle of September? You got the Bears winning or losing this one, John?
Absolutely winning, man. Come on. Justin Fields is going to dog Baker Mayfield, bro. It don't matter. He's going to show out. The Bears quarterbacks tend to have some pretty decent games against the Bucks. If you know, you know.
Definitely.
QB1 Mitch, 5 TDs.
Oh, yeah, that's the only good game that he's had in the Bears uniform.
It don't matter. It was against the Bucks. Talk about
when the Bucks were literally the dog piss of the NFL.
Justin Fields is going to thrive. Easy dub. Against Baker Mayfield, our defense is going to eat.
All right, CP, do you got them 2-0 or 1-1?
Hey, see, obviously, I'm gonna choose the Bears simply because if the defense is as good as been advertised so far in training camp, then maybe they can, make Baker's Mayfield a life of living hell. Plus, that Bucks O-line, probably not the biggest fan of it. So, I'll put this down for like a low scoring. I don't think it's gonna be what John says it is, though. Like Justin Fields throw for 400 yards or something, but I think they'll win this.
Rusher for him.
I think they'll win this, but probably not because of Justin Fields, but more so because of like the Bears defense beating up on Baker Mayfield.
All right, we got CP over here saying that the defense is actually going to show out here when we don't know where the pass rush is coming from right now from the Chicago Bears, either up front or on the sides too as well, which is probably the biggest question mark, my biggest question mark so far coming into the season for the Chicago Bears is who's going to rush the quarterback.
Not
but I think the Bears, but I do believe you guys too. I think the Bears, toe for toe with the offensive talent, can compete with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the quarterback is a big situation here. And I think it's not a game where the defense shows up. I think it's a game where Baker Mayfield just throws it away and makes the defense look good. I wholeheartedly believe that the Bears can go 2-0 so far to begin the season. And mark me down for a W that the Bears beat the Buccaneers. Again, same way. Very low scoring. I agree with CP. It's going to be very low scoring. What's low scoring? 21-14, 21-17, something
Not
like
even
that.
I was going to say like 17-13, something like that.
Something like, all right, cool. It's going to be somewhere roughly around there. We're definitely going to hit the under. But I know I got a buddy at work who's a Buccaneers fan, and I know I got a
Poor
sandwich
guy.
bet on that one. So
How did that happen?
Ever
don't
since
ask me.
Tom Brady joined, he jumped in.
Oh yeah.
He's a Bucks fan, man. That's all I gotta say. He's a cool guy. He's a Bucks fan. All right, I think this is the one where we are going to come in agreement where the Bears, so far, how we have it written down on the schedule,
Not
where the Bears
John.
might get their first loss of the season.
John gonna mark it down as a win.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, my guy.
A very tough game at Arrowhead, which is a game that I
Sir.
feel like we should all kind of consider and trying to see if we can make it out there. It's only a 10-hour trip from here to Kansas City to Arrowhead.
Yeah,
Tickets
I'm
are not that
In the car
expensive.
with you for 10
My aunt-
hours, dude.
My aunt stays out there. I used to live with her. I'll probably go to that game.
That sounds like an
I'm
interesting
going with
matchup to
you,
go to. And also a matchup that's at 325 on Fox that might be America's Game of the Week too as well, that they love to advertise. But we have this one. I think it's unanimous, guys. The Bears don't have a shot in winning this game, right?
No,
Absolutely
not at all.
Nope.
Now, the real question is it going to be another blowout or is it going to be a very close matchup simply because of the upgrade that the Bears have on defense? I'm sorry, on offense.
The Chiefs'
Nah,
defense is legit.
Yep. It's a blowout.
It's a blowout,
Alrighty,
man. Chiefs are just much better on both sides.
All right, never mind. The Bears are going to get blown out by the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys heard it first from CP and from John.
Their backs blown out, bro. That's not-
But I think we all three of us coming in agreement, 4 or 5 of us coming in agreement that this is going to be an L for the Chicago Bears. At going to Kansas City week 3. Week 4, a very tough one. And I'm only saying this because of what the Broncos are bringing in, right? And the Broncos are bringing in a quarterback and a head coach who has been there, done that, as my camera is just somehow, some way just tilted. Coming into Chicago, a noon game. And there's a lot of expectations, high expectations for this Denver Broncos team. Now, this is where I'm going to give you guys my spill after I hear you guys. Whether it's going to be a win or a loss from the Chicago Bears, CP.
I'm putting it down as a loss.
Nice. Okay. What about you, John?
I am also going with the loss. Russ going to cook this season.
Sean Payton is I think he
Legit,
could fix
baby.
Russ.
He talked that shit. He got to back it up now.
Yeah, he definitely got to back it up. And let's not forget, Denver still has one of the top defenses in the league. So Patrick Surtain.
I honestly thought one of you guys were actually going to go for a win with this one. I honestly thought John was going to go for the Bears winning this one. And I completely agree with you guys. I think the Bears are going to lose this one too as well at home.
Yeah. Look at us.
And it's just like I mentioned before, like where is the pass rush going to come from the Chicago Bears this offseason? When I saw the schedule, this was one of the games that I put on the schedule that I don't know. It could go either way for a Bears win or a Bears loss simply because of the defense and the defensive front and the pressure that they need to bring on the quarterback. Where is that pressure coming from? Especially a guy, yes, it's Russell Wilson. Yes, he may have lost a step or two in running out of the pocket, but he can still throw the ball. And plus, on top of that, he has Sean Payton as his head coach. So that's a massive upgrade than Nathaniel Hackett that it was last year. And it's not at Denver, Jose. It's home against the Broncos. So,
Well, Jose agrees with us, but Duffman did mark it as a W.
yeah, Duffman does have it on here. I'll put Duffman's record on here because he actually gave us the whole schedule on here. But Duff does have that one as a win. That's a little ballsy move from Duffman, if you ask me. But I respect it. Next week at Washington. It's a Thursday night game too as well. So
Not
a quick
again.
one from Broncos to Washington.
Amazon Prime game, baby.
An Amazon Prime game as well too. I hope I don't work the next day early as hell because I'm gonna miss that one. But that's neither here nor there. A very tricky matchup, especially after a hard-fought battle, which is going to be a hard, tough game against the Denver Broncos at home. Guys, how do you feel about the Bears going to Washington on a short week for Thursday Night Football? John, let's go with John.
It's an easy dub. Easy
Oh,
clap,
my
boy.
God.
It's a dub, man. Commanders who? Fuck out of here, boy. Don't matter.
CP, it sounds like you're gonna have the Bears losing 3 games in a row here.
Yes, I am. Because Johnny Boy can't seem to... He keeps letting his bias getting in the way, bro. You must forgot we lost to Carson Wentz when he threw for 99 yards.
That was fine.
On a short Thursday night.
MVP Justin Fields.
And this time, we're
DJ
in
Moore.
Washington. This time, I think Sam Howell is low-key better than Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz was on a decline. I like what I saw from Howell toward the end of the year. I just think Washington will be too fired up for that, and they'll have Bears will be coming off a short week and then going straight on the road. That's tough, bro. That's tough. I can't. I gotta get out into the Commanders strictly. I'll be down. Maybe if the Bears were at home, but going to Washington, that's a tough environment.
I completely agree with you 100% about the tough environment that they're going to. CP, especially when Ron Rivera is their head coach, he can always turn them up to get them to play. That defense is going to be as tough and as stingy as possible. Short week going on the road, yes. If I go based on talent wise, though, offensively, I think the Bears. This is going to be the game where the Bears' offensive talent is going to show out a lot more. Last year on the Thursday Night Football, the Bears did look pretty bad. At their one only
Hey
spot that they
Eric.
play on Thursday Night Football.
Hey
Um,
Eric.
but I do believe that the Bears, this offense is going to be a little bit different and will turn up, and especially on a short week. Obviously, the defense is going to carry you on a very short week, but we don't know what this defense is going to be like. So this whole entire season is going to be based off how healthy Justin Fields is going to be if he can play for the majority of the season, for the majority of the games, and how well is this offense is going to be. I slightly, and I mean I'm talking about the slightest of slight, the Bears with the W in this one, simply because I think the Bears have a better talent than Washington Commanders have out there. On a short week, give me the Bears.
Eric.
Give me the
Hey
Bears in
Eric.
this one.
Who was the team that gave the Eagles their first loss last year?
I think it was the Commanders.
It was the
Were
Commanders.
at home too. The Commanders at
Hey.
home, and I want to say it was either on a
I'm
Monday
telling
night or on
y'all,
a Sunday night.
their defense is legit.
Their defense
Chase
is
Young is
legit.
the real deal.
You're absolutely right. But I think this year, I know new ownership, new everything. I don't know, something about the Commanders is not going to be the same as last year. But I agree. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears come off with an L and lose 3 in a row after this one. But I'm putting them as a dub for right now. Um, the one thing that the Bears do well though is having that extended bye week. And luckily, the extended bye week, they come back home to play against the Minnesota Vikings, which in my book, the Minnesota Vikings are going to take a few step backs, especially on defense. I think they're
Right.
going to be one of the worst defenses in the NFL this year. But Johnny P, you got the Bears winning again on this one, right?
Absolutely. W. Fuck Kirk Cousins.
Damn, man, you haven't seen quarterback? He hasn't won you over, bro?
No. He has it. I don't give a fuck.
I can't stand you, Johnny blasphemy. All right, CP, are the Bears for you snapping the 3-game losing streak?
Yeah, they gonna snap it there. That's a W. I feel like Justin Fields is gonna light if he can light anybody up, it's that Vikings defense. And I feel like this is one of them games where the Bears is gonna put up like 30, damn near 40 points, and Kirk Cousins and Jefferson gonna have to try to outscore us, and I don't think they'll be able to.
In Justin, we trust in. That's what That's what Duffman says. Jose's coming at you, CP. He said the Washington Commanders are nowhere near the same team as last year. He has
Why?
them winning against the Washington Commanders
What's
too as
what's
well.
different, Jose?
Maybe an
it's
unmotivated team on the defensive side of the ball, probably. I don't know.
I mean, because
Uh,
they pretty much brought everybody back. You still got Brian Robinson, you still got Antonio Gibson, you still got Terry McLaurin. I like the team, bro. I like Washington's defense.
he's talking about the Bears. Different team. Nowhere near the same team as last year. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Still,
We're moving on. The Bears go back-to-back home games as well for the first time this season. This time they welcome in the Las Vegas Raiders and porn star Jimmy G.
uh,
Guys, how do you feel about the Raiders coming into Chicago and maybe possibly stealing one for the Chicago Bears? CP, can the Raiders do it?
no, absolutely not. Like
Got
I
them with a
said,
win.
I've never.
Nice.
Everybody loves Jimmy G. I've never been a fan of Jimmy G. He was just a product of the 49ers and Patriots system. I think it's going to be shown just how average he is with the Raiders. I don't care if you got Devontae Adams. It still won't matter.
All right, Johnny P. What is this? Is this going to be win number 5 for you?
This is going to be win number 5. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fuck porn star Jimmy.
He had to count.
Yes, sir.
I love it, Johnny. Johnny Blasphemy over here is sounding like me last year with the amount of wins that the Bears are gonna get.
I swear.
I get
5-2.
it. Jose over here says he got the Bears losing against the Raiders at home this on this game
But you
on the
got them beating the Commanders. What sense does that make?
Jose, what was your pick for the
Get your
Vikings?
boy CP, get your boy, get him. I'm with the majority here. Um, this Raiders team, I don't know something about this Raiders team. Even though they have Devontae Adams, they let go to Waller. Josh Jacobs is very unhappy.
Yep.
This just seems very off for the Las Vegas Raiders. Something about them just doesn't seem right.
Disorganized.
Defensively, probably mid at best. Uh,
Besides
give me a
Crosby.
Bears win. I think I had the Bears winning in the beginning when the schedule came out. I'm gonna keep with the Bears winning with this one.
Yeah.
Next one though, we're gonna have the first Sunday night for our Chicago Bears, the very first one,
Yeah.
and a very tough one too. It is going to be a very tough one against the Los Angeles Chargers at Los Angeles on a Sunday night football game, which is going to be the battle of Justin Fields versus Justin Herbert. And I think the media is going to milk this one simply because we have two young quarterbacks coming into this league. One having success, and as how we hopefully you'd imagine Justin Fields so far this season is on the rise of success too as well. The battle of Justin's between Justin Herbert and Justin Fields all in Los Angeles. I know Jose loves his Chargers. I know he has the Chargers winning this one, so you could put the Bears losing for this one for Jose. But Johnny P, do the Bears have a shot to go to Los Angeles and come out with a W?
I'm always give my Bears a shot, but I think they lose this one. I think the Chargers. They had a really weird season last year, up and down. A lot of people had a lot of high hopes for them, but I don't think the Bears get blown out. I think they keep it kind of close, but I do see us losing by at least 10 points.
Ooh, 10 points. Wow. So, in other words, you're taking the over in this one. Got it,
Yeah.
Johnny P. CP, what do you have? You have a winner or a loss on this one?
Definitely taking the over. I think this will also be a high scoring game. Something like, 38-28, something like that.
Woo!
I think it wouldn't shock me though if the Bears pull this one out, just because the Chargers can be like that. They'll be like a really good team like the Bills one week, and then they'll lose to like the Panthers the next week. So they're weird like that. It wouldn't shock me if the Bears pulled off a win, but just because they're in LA and Justin Herbert loves to show out in LA, I get over to the Chargers.
I would sleep only 3 hours that day just to watch my Bears to go on the West Coast and play against the Chargers. I don't care if I work the next day at 3:30 in the morning. I am up late
Suck
to
it
watch
up.
my Bears take an L against the Los Angeles Chargers. But I hope it's an exciting one. I am with you guys too as well. It's going to be a high scoring game too as well. But this one's gonna show that Justin Fields hopefully can be in a shootout with one of the best young talent quarterbacks in the game. Jose said he has the Bears winning, so Jose got the Bears beating the Chargers on the road. So
Beat the
yeah.
Chargers, but lose to the Raiders. Got it. That's
Oh,
y'all.
man.
That's y'all.
That's your boy.
Johnny.
That's your boy, CP. That's your boy. Look, it's right there. Bears taking the W, baby. That's what he got. That's what he got. All right. So in a
Oh,
very,
you gonna ignore
I'm trying to
his
see this
comment
right here.
after?
So the next game is a noon game on the road. Another tough one, guys. This is another tough one. No matter how you want to see it, they go on the road again, back-to-back road games against the New Orleans Saints. We already got CP's answer. CP says he's going to lose against the New Orleans Saints down there against Derek Carr and this Saints defense. Johnny P, do you agree with him?
Who that? Derek Carr is garbage.
Oh my
Dub.
god.
That's a dub.
Oh my god.
He gonna have Michael Thomas playing. Come on now. Kamara will probably be on the sidelines trying to get traded. Nah, bro. The Bears gonna make Derek Carr cry in his new stadium in the dome. You got this.
He's coming at you, bro. CP got them losing to Washington but beating LA. Come on, man.
I didn't say they would beat LA. I said it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
So this is another game for me, guys, right, that I also put a question mark next to it simply because of the defense again, right? And New Orleans is the toughest place to play what these professional players say, right? I've never been, but that's the story, that's the rumor out there that it is a tough place to play. And again, no defensive front. Who's going to rush the quarterback? I don't know. And maybe I'm getting a little too over myself putting some of these wins instead of losses because there's going to be no defensive pressure, especially when you have quarterbacks like, Justin Herbert coming in. I also have the Bears losing back-to-back games in this one. I don't see them away coming out of New Orleans with no defensive pass rush whatsoever on Derek Carr. In this one, this is a tough matchup to me. It's a noon game. It's New Orleans. I'm sorry. I love my Bears, but they're going to take an L on this one. This looks like another game, too, as well. Like, the Bears, once again, they have a late bye. Like, look how many games we already got. We already have, 8 games already so far on this list?
Mm-hmm.
And this one again, guys. Not only are they going to have a tough matchup going to New Orleans, but it's another short week where they play against the Carolina Panthers in a game to where a battle of where are they going to be positioned in the draft, right? I think right now, if we have it all together, I really don't know what my record is right now, but I think we're like the Bears are a game or two above or below 500 compared to all of our records. What we have, other than John, I think has them like 5 games over 500.
I got them like 5-5 at this point.
I got them 6-3. Corey, you got them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 and 5.
And I think Eric, I got an opposite 5-4.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, I got them 5-4 at this point.
Yeah, and this is another one, guys. Again, even though it's at home, but mind you, it's a home game. It's another short week. They play another Thursday night game. This time it's at home against the Carolina Panthers, but in a game to where it's going to be magnifying simply because of what happened between these two teams in the offseason, right? It's in a game. Who invited this guy?
Hold on.
My God.
Anyways,
Here we go.
Hold on.
This is a game where it's going to be magnifying to a point that where the Bears and the Panthers, what they did over the draft this past season, trading DJ Moore, getting that number one pick, getting the number one pick.
You forget who pays this bill.
It's gonna be that magnifying, guys. It's Bryce Young versus Justin Fields. On another short week, guys, let's go with CP. CP, what do you have the Bears and the Panthers game? Do you have winning or losing?
No, I got them winning probably like 20-10, something like that. I think the Bears can win that one.
You can't even see CP.
John, what do you got? Who do you got? Bears winning or losing against the Panthers?
Oh, it's an easy dub. Come on now. we eat a W, baby.
Just because he said that, we probably lose. Just because he said that.
Bro, you just said it was going to be a blowout.
You know what? They're saying that the Carolina Panthers are going to probably be the surprise team coming out of the NFC South this year. I still don't know how much after losing the number one receiver, giving a very young quarterback, a rookie quarterback on top of that. We'll see who's going to be the number one wide receiver. Obviously, the offensive line is one of the big ones too for the Carolina Panthers. But yeah, someone losing that. What do you say? Someone losing that TJ Maxx. I love you, Duff. Don't change, man. I love you, but no.
Oh my God, they not.
I don't. This is another tough one for me. I having back-to-back road games, back-to-back tough road games on top of that for a short week against a team by the Carolina Panthers that may or may not be surprising this upcoming season. I could see the Bears squeaking out a win simply because of the home field advantage of them being on the road for the last two games. So put me down barely for a Bears win against the Panthers on the Thursday Night Football.
I got the Bears winning the Panthers too, Eric.
Nice.
I got them beating the Panthers too.
You got them beating the Panthers. There you go. Jose got him against the Panthers.
What's up, CP?
Hello, Jose.
My boy.
All right, guys. So this is going to be the very fun, interesting matchup. The first of many. I think this one's also... No, this is a noon game kickoff. The very first matchup against the Detroit Lions, which is the heavy favorite for the NFC North. The Detroit Lions on the road. Again, mind you guys, it's going to be a mini bye week for the Chicago Bears, so they're going to have time to prep and prepare for these Detroit Lions that everybody's on hot pursuit for them. All right, Jose, do you have your Lions winning against our Chicago Bears?
Hell, I am not a Lions. First off, I am not a Lions fan, but that's a big fat L for our beloved Chicago Bears. The Lions are right there, toe to toe with the Bears for the division. Don't sleep on the Vikings. I have them winning it, but the Bears lose to the Lions.
CP, let's get some common sense in this show right now. Who do you got? You got the Bears winning, right?
Against the Lions,
The
no.
Lions on the road.
At the
No,
Lions.
no, not in Detroit, no.
Tell them, CP. Tell them, CP.
All right, John. I need some bias up in here, man. You got the Bears beating the Lions on the road.
I got you, baby. Yes, sir. We winning that. Winning all day.
Nice. There you go. See, we got one. Honestly, I think this. I said that the Bears and the Lions are going to split, and this is going to be the one where the Bears take an L on the road against the Detroit Lions. I honestly feel like they'll go 1-1 on the road. This is going to be the only split of the season because I honestly do feel like they're going to sweep the Packers and also sweep the Vikings too as well. But this is the only time that the Bears will sweep. I mean, not we'll keep a 1-1 record against the Detroit Lions because I am a big. I don't want to say a big believer, but I do believe that this Lions offense is really, really good. I really do. I honestly do. Speaking of the Minnesota Vikings, on a Monday night game against the Minnesota Vikings, mind you, remember what I said on a Monday night. So Kirk Cousins is going to choke once again on a big stage in Minnesota. Johnny P, we're going to see primetime Kirk throwing away another Monday night game, right?
I want to lean there, but I'm going to stick with my original answer. I have us losing right before the bye week at Minnesota.
Okay. All right. I see. CP, you got primetime Kirk choking it once again?
I do. I just think the Vikings got too much luck last year, bro. I think this is honestly going to be a really rough year for them. I know Jose caught us off guard with that prediction, saying the Vikings will win the division. But
I don't know where he's getting that from.
Hey, I'm going against you again. I don't see the Vikings pulling that off again. I think the Bears sweep them.
My guy, there you go. All right,
Just
Jose, you're shaking your head no. So you got the Vikings winning, huh?
Yeah, Vikings win. I see the Bears splitting with each one of the teams in the division. I think the Vikings win this one because they're at home. I do have a bet that the Vikings win the division again because I don't feel like they've changed. I feel like they're still the same team. Take Cook out, but Massey's going to do the exact same thing he's did. They still have Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins is a great regular season quarterback. I just don't trust him in the playoffs. So, yeah.
You do know that they lost 10.5 sacks in one of the players that they traded away. You do know that the Vikings were also one of the bottom teams on defense last year too as well.
That is fine, but the Lions defense is still suspect as hell. The Bears offense, we don't know exactly what they're going to do, and I do not trust Jordan Love, so that's fine. But I do trust Kirk Cousins in the regular season. I do trust Justin Jefferson and that offense in the regular season because you forget they only lost 3 games last year. That Viking team isn't much different other than with the guy you just mentioned, but that's not going to make much of a difference. The Vikings team are still the Vikings.
The Vikings.
Okay. Don't sleep on Kirk. You like that? Cousins at home, prime time. It's Kirk on prime time, guys. He's not that great. Now the Bears finally get a bye week after like 17 straight games. They finally get a bye week. And they come home after that bye week against the Detroit Lions on a noon game.
That's a dub.
In December, guys. Indoor team coming to Soldier Field in December in the cold to Soldier Field. The Lions, the Detroit Lions. Jose got him with a dub. Yep. Are you with him, CP?
Yeah, I got them winning it up because, like, I know they blew that lead at home last year that they had with the Lions. But let's remember just how bad that Bears team was. So
Facts.
I think they'll be more under control this year, and I think they'll handle the Lions that game.
All right. I mean, I said that they're going to split the home and home matchup against the Detroit Lions, so I got them with a dub. Johnny P, can we make it a clean sweep?
Clean sweep. Get the rules out.
That's my boy.
The Lions are going.
All right. Duffman Goes says, I do trust in Justin Fields. I've been saying it all day. In Justin, we trust in.
Damn, boy, how are you just going to cut off John? John was talking. Go ahead, John. Continue talking.
I'm sorry, John. Go ahead, my guy.
I was saying the Bears are going to sweep the Lions and the Packers this year. They'll only split against the Vikings.
All right. I like that call, John. Nice, nice, nice. So this is one of the TBD ones. This is a game that may be thrown in on a Saturday, right? To me, I'm already put this out there. This is the question mark for me. The third question mark that I have for the Bears in the schedule this year, going to Cleveland on the road. Like it's still in the cold, but it's not that. It's whatever the Cleveland Browns are going to be. That's why it's a big question mark because I don't know what Deshaun Watson and that Cleveland Browns team is going to be. Plus, I don't know what this Bears defensive line is going to be as well. So, in my aspect right now, I'm gonna put the Bears losing this game at Cleveland against Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. This is my third one that I said. So, so CP. No, let's go with Jose here. Jose, what do you got? You agree with me, or you got the Bears winning?
No, I agree. I think that's an L. I think Cleveland's defense would be too much for the Bears offense late in the season. So I do have Justin Fields getting sacked like 4 times in that game, and that's going to be the deciding factor.
John, what you got?
I have. First of all, I have this game circled to potentially try to go and see.
Nice.
I've been to the Guardians when they were in the stadium, very nice. So wouldn't mind going. But I do have an L. I think Deshaun Watson has a big season this year.
CP. Which
Yeah,
one
I
are
think
you leading? Win or lost?
that's a L for me too. I know Deshaun Watson started off rough last year, but hey, he finished looking real good
He
down the
did.
stretch. So yeah, I got Cleveland winning that one.
Deshaun Watson going to beat the Bears like he beat the case, Eric.
Duffman says cutting off people like that, cutting off circulation, get this man to live. Keep going.
He's
Damn,
going to beat the
Doug.
Bears like he beat
Hey man,
that
look,
case.
when I talk on this microphone, I can't hear anybody because all I hear is my voice with these headphones on, and these guys have a very low
That
quality
makes
headset
sense.
going on. So my bad, Duff, my bad, Duff. So the Bears are going to end with two home games and a road game against the Green Bay Packers. But before that, they play against a West Coast team the day before on Christmas Eve here in Chicago against what could possibly be, maybe the worst team in the NFL this coming season in the Arizona Cardinals.
Easy money.
CP got him with a W with an easy money. Johnny P, do you agree?
I'm gonna double that Lids gift card, easy money.
Jose, can we get a two? Can we get a 3 for 3?
I'm going to triple it and pass it and give it to the next person.
That's shocked to hear.
Buy one, get one 50% off. I got you, bro. Let's get it.
Let's go.
I also am in agreement with you guys. I think the
Let's
Bears are going to
go.
easily win this one. A West Coast team coming to the cold, the dome, a desert team on top of that, with the very suspect team
dome?
in the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Bears, easy dub on this one. Again, another dome team coming up north in the cold on New Year's Eve. We're going to get the Bears on Christmas and New Year's Eve this year. The Falcons, best rushing game last year outside of the Chicago Bears. Johnny P, you got the Bears winning or losing this one?
They winning that. Come on, man. Falcons ain't got nothing. Winning, baby. We ending the season with Dugs. Let's go.
Let's go, Jose. You look like the Bears are going to lose this one, right?
I think the Falcons are like right there with the Bears. I feel like those two teams will make a progression. But I got the Bears winning, man. Come on, bear down.
CP, can you make it 3 for 3? Can you make it 4 for 4?
No, I cannot.
What?
Look, I think the Falcons will
It's a trap
probably.
game.
I think they possibly could be the best team in the NFC South last year. That's just what I think. The addition of Bijan Robinson, they were already the best running team last year, and they added the best running back in the draft. I can't ignore
you're right.
that. You're right. It's going to be a cold-ass game, cold-ass day. I don't think both teams will be throwing the ball that much. I think it'll be more running versus defense. And I think Falcons just they got us a little beat in that running game department. I think it's another low-scoring game in the cold. Probably field goals winning 12-9 or something like that.
Damn.
I got
Right,
the Falcons.
and on a December night though, it could be a possibility. Hell, I don't know. Maybe the Bears trade for like Josh Jacobs or something, or another running back who's disgruntled by the trade deadline. If we need help on the running game, that might be a different story. That could also be a possibility.
Hey, they pull something like that off, then I probably change my picks.
There you go. So he has them losing to the Falcons. And I think John is probably the only one that has the Bears losing to the Green Bay Packers on the road on a last game of the season on a TBD. So we already know that John picks the Packers to win against the Bears, right, John?
Bro, I knew you put the cap in Capricorn, bro. That's you, bro. Because I got them sweeping the Packers and ending the season with a dub right before we start our playoff run, baby.
Oh
There
my
you
god.
go. All right, can you make it 3 for 3, Jose? Can the Packers beat the Bears at home?
No, look, I had the Bears splitting with every team in the division. I do say I think the Bears are either going to lose the first. I see them more losing the first game than I do the last game. So I'm gonna say a dub here, but I'm gonna change the first game to an L.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at this guy already making up his own rules. All right, we're not going to take that one. We don't do that type of thing here on this show.
I'm just
So
saying.
CP, you have the Bears beating the Packers in the last game of the season.
Yeah, I actually do got them sweeping the Packers this year.
Yeah.
I can't speak on. I gotta see what Jordan Love looks like. Like I can't really speak on it
Garbage.
right now.
Hot garbage, bro.
I love you too.
Now that's
Duff.
not what
I
I'm
can't wait
hearing
to
out
see
of
you.
camp, John. So
Trash, bro.
All right, so wrong one. So this is
Big black
Duff
cheese.
Man's. I think John, you already have it on here, but this is Duff Man's list.
Yeah.
I don't know if you already copied and pasted.
Yeah, I did. He has a dub.
Yeah, he got him a dub too.
He actually has us losing the Falcons and Cardinals.
the
Yeah, he does.
Cardinals.
He has them back-to-back L's against the Cardinals
Yeah.
and the Falcons at home, so they're gonna lose the last 2 games. According to Duff, the last 2 home games, he has them losing against the Cardinals and the Falcons.
You know this ain't the 2015 Cardinals, right?
But that's his. He got Packers 2-1, just like us. Then he has the Broncos winning. He has winning against the Broncos, winning against the Commanders, winning against the Vikings, winning against the Raiders, losing
This
against
is
the
crazy.
Tigers, losing against the Saints, a dub against the Panthers, a dub against the Lions, a loss against the Vikings, a dub against the Lions. So he has them sweeping the Lions.
This
He
is
has them
John
beating
level
Cleveland, but
optimism.
losing to the
Facts.
Falcons and the Cardinals the last 2 home games after losing and then winning the last game of the season
So you
against the
think they'll
Packers.
sweep Detroit but lose to Arizona?
And also the Falcons.
All right, so what's the final records here?
12-5, baby.
Oh hell no!
I got 8-9, 8-9 for our beloved Bears this year.
I got 9-8.
I think I got 9-8.
Nah, 8-9,
Or
guys.
10-7.
8-9 here.
12-5 is crazy.
12-5 is
Sir,
crazy.
book it.
But I'll tell you what.
And I thought I
I'll
was
tell you
crazy
what.
last year.
I know. Hold on. But I think 12 wins is more believable this year than Eric's 11 last year.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. Eric was wilder than last year.
Book it, son.
And I only got a quarter of those wins, bro.
We win the division, fellas.
No, 8-9, maybe a wild card, maybe.
I think
Maybe.
I have them 10-7, right, John?
You said 9-8.
I think I got them 10-7.
9-8 fighting for a wild card. That's what I got him.
Oh, you got him 10-7, Eric.
Yeah, I got them 10-7. Yeah. I mean, it could all change. 9-8 sounds good to me as well. Hell, even I'll give you this: if somehow, some way, if my predictions are wrong, but if the Bears give me 4 wins, they're succeeding in my books. They were better than last year, so I'm okay with that one too as well. So yeah, that's our final Bears predictions of the years. Obviously, we're going to talk about more Chicago Bears in the upcoming episodes of the JCA Sports Podcast, and obviously throughout the whole entire season too as well. I'd like to thank CP for joining us, Jose, who finally decided to chime in after being fake this whole entire time. Johnny P, bro, I love you, my guy. Also, Duffman, I appreciate you for not only just roasting me about my hats and how tight it is, but also joining us on the show too as well. Josh from Hooters, hopefully them wings gave you chorro, and then I got C's too that chimed in as well. I appreciate. Oh, and also Tony. Tony, in the very beginning, he went to go see Messi, who he ended up scoring in the first 7 minutes of the game. So shout out to what could possibly be the GOAT of football, in Lionel Messi.
That's right, John.
All right, with that, more cat from Eric. Hi, everybody.
Soak it in, John.
I mean,
Soak it in.
it's a fun debate, and you can't
It's
go
a
wrong
true
with either
debate, man.
Cristiano or Messi. So it is what it is. But I'd like to thank you guys for joining us, guys. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and also on TikTok under the Star 6 Media brand. Make sure you guys hit the little bell under the John Conavi Facebook page, and also
11-1, Duff man. 11-1.
And also, the Sox lost again. FU Jerry, and he also has the Kings of the North too as well, Mr.
Hey,
Duffman.
we are gonna make a shirt though about Justin. We trust him. We're gonna put Duffman's logo or something.
We're gonna put his biceps, bro.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do. And Justin with Duffman, and then with Duffman's biceps.
We gotta put the JCA Sports logo on there too, though, because copyright purposes. But don't worry, we got
merch.
Merch
for
and
sure.
Justin, we trust him.
But we'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. We will see you guys next week to talk a little bit more about Bears and their training camp. Obviously, I'll give you more updates on the MLB and more other sports news that happens throughout the week. For Jose Contreras, CP, thank you for joining. My boy Johnny Blasphemy. I am Eric Avila here for the JCA Sports Podcast. We will see you guys next week. Peace.